Salutations, good day, good evening, good night, whatever time you're watching this. If you're watching this early on Patreon, we appreciate your support. If you're watching this fully unedited as well, we thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. And, well, we're back with more Rick and Morty for Heather Hasn't Seen. At least for the first few episodes, because then after that it kind of becomes like Renegade reacts / Heather Hasn't Seen, because Micah hasn't seen like past episode 3. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how Micah reacts to those future episodes, and also to see how Heather reacts to these next few episodes, because this one's a bit of a trip. Actually, the next what am I saying? All Rick and Morty episodes are trips down the rabbit hole of hell, and
they get pretty weird.
Yeah, they do.
From what little I've seen.
Yeah. So, Heather, your opinion of the first episode was, it's good, it's all right.
It's okay.
Even though some of the jokes like nailed you, like that one. It's like, well, the doy, son.
The doy.
The bureaucrat's joke got Micah again, even though he knew it was coming. It's a good joke.
It's a good joke.
Like, they're not robots, Rick. They're bureaucrats, Morty. I don't respect them. Okay, so we're on episode 2, Lawnmower Dog. And, okay.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that. This episode, I think you might like this episode.
So the dogs win.
You'll see. You'll see. But Lawnmower Dog, that's a tribute to Lawnmower Man, which is itself a Stephen King book. You ever read Lawnmower Man?
Nope, I didn't actually make that connection.
Oh, really? Well, Lawnmower Man, that's the title of the episode. Not like the episode itself is a tribute to it, but the title of it. Lawnmower Man, you never read Lawnmower Man? Okay. Was that... I also told Heather about how many drugs Stephen King used to do.
A lot.
Yeah, like I told her about, like, whenever he wanted to go on a writing binge, or like a big writer thing, like he'd get high off his ass on cocaine and just go up in the mountains and just write.
I mean, he was putting out like 3 or 4 novels a year at some points in his life. I mean, holy cow! And they're like, I mean, he
a whole
writes
bunch of cocaine.
Some pretty long novels. I mean,
it's like Stephen King do cocaine.
I still can't believe that. Like,
what, Stephen King
that
doing
caught
cocaine?
me so off guard when he told me. It was when we watched Silence of the Lambs, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
What, Stephen King did a bunch of drugs?
Well, we had watched something, and I talked about wanting to see The Shining. We somehow ended up on Stephen King, and he goes, yeah, he just used to do cocaine and go up into the mountains and write books. And I was like, what?
Yeah, that's all he did. He would buy, I think it was like a quarter of a kilo of cocaine, and like take it up into the mountains and just like for months on end just do nothing but drink and eat enough to survive, and do nothing but binge cocaine and write.
I mean,
honestly, isn't that the life though?
No.
Well, he didn't get cleaned up. He freely admitted it was either in Danse Macabre or on writing that he, like, I mean, his wife was like, this needs to stop or I'm leaving you, and like he got cleaned up. I mean, it was bad.
And it was also his health too. His health was like getting worse.
Yeah,
and worse.
I mean, drugs will kill you.
Well, of course. I mean, you do enough cocaine, eventually, if if the erosion of your nasal cavities not evident, then like your liver and your kidneys will start to break down.
I'm not a big fan of cocaine.
I've tried it a little bit. It's okay. I mean, honestly,
not a big fan.
I get as much of a kicker off of phentermine.
I mean, phentermine is literally prescription crack.
Yeah,
phentermine. I'm sorry.
No, phentermine, however you want to call it. I mean, for me, I was up at one point in my life. I was up to taking 2 of those a day.
Yeah, I took those when I was like 13 to 15, and then I tried about a year ago, and I couldn't because my blood pressure was too bad when I took them. And I got chest pain, actually. That was fun.
Oh yeah, take too much of it, it'll cause your heart to beat erratically.
I can't take it. It only got prescribed to me because she knew if she didn't and keep an eye on me, I could just go to a clinic and buy it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I will say this: you compared it to like prescription speed, except one thing about speed is that speed will they can both kill you if you take too much of it.
I mean, yeah.
It's just the lingering health effects of like regular usage. You're more likely to die from meth because honestly, there's a lot of shit in meth. I mean,
meth is the one thing I've never tried.
Okay.
I think.
I've seen someone smoke both crack and later on I think about like a year or so later, he did meth.
Okay.
And as he put it, crack, like you woke up and all you wanted to do was smoke crack. You wake up, that's all you want to do. You go to sleep, that's all you want to do. Meth is a head rush. He said was a head rush akin to that of 50 adrenaline shots into your brain at once, except, you know, you're not going to die, at least if you don't do too much. But he said when he did that, all he wanted to do was run, and all he wanted to do was like fight people. Like it made him want to, as he put it, push his boundaries.
To be fair, that's how I got when I was on that effexor. I was like, I'm going to see how far I can push everyone. And everyone was like, what the fuck is she doing?
It's like, calm down, girl. Calm down, Heather.
You could be like, hey, Heather, what, you got a fucking problem? And Nate would just be like, okay.
Like, what?
It's fine.
Okay.
But yeah, cocaine was probably the only time I've ever ran in my life willingly.
Oh, God. Here we are talking about recreational drugs, and here's Rick and Morty.
I mean, it's the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
I took some ibuprofen the other day. Because I had a headache.
Micah, being here straight edge, like a sword that he made.
Never made a sword.
You made
like a
some
dagger
daggers?
that he made.
Not technically.
Have you not finished them?
Nope.
Damn. Surprise
What
me.
have you ever made?
He made a stormtrooper helmet.
No. Wyndham made that.
Oh, no, you made the Gray Fox helmet. My mistake.
I did make a Gray Fox helmet. That's terrible.
Oh.
I've heat treated some knives, but I never finished them because I didn't like them.
Aw.
But yeah.
Oh,
all right.
okay.
So, Rick and Morty. Let's get it on screen. Let's give it a watch.
You want to go outside? Outside? Are you kidding me?
Just to spite him.
Oh my god.
I think that little bastard just did it to spite him.
Oh, he didn't mean it, Dad.
Would you?
I thought the whole point of having a dog was to feel superior, Jerry. If I were you, I wouldn't pull that thread. Come on, Morty.
Listen, Rick. If you're gonna stay here
No, it's
rent-free
to have a
and
good
use my son
companion
for
in
your
life.
stupid science, the least you...
Go to the bathroom.
No way.
Yeah.
Damn.
At the top of your if you like
I
that.
need one
Boy,
of those
you're
for
really
when I
gonna
get my
flip your lid
puppy.
over this one. It's just like that
Oh.
movie that you keep crowing about. You talking about Inception? That's right, Morty. This is gonna be a lot like that, except, you know, it's gonna make sense. Inception made sense. You don't have to try to impress me, Morty. Listen. Take cover, Morty.
Just pulled two M4s out of nowhere.
Fold's got more control here than I anticipated. I mean, the guy teaches high school math. I didn't take him for an active dreamer. We gotta take him out so he wakes up, Morty, but we can't get killed. You avoid getting shot in real life all the time, Morty. Just do the same thing here and we'll be fine.
Well, they're not trying to actively shoot him.
Be my footstool, Snuffles.
This is what I'm
Okay,
talking about.
no.
This
No,
is a
no,
dog.
no.
Oh yeah, this should play out just fine.
You said the same thing, equally sarcastically, at our wedding, and guess what?
Aw.
Aw, Jerry.
Oh my god.
I love him so much.
He's saying I love lasagna.
You don't know me.
Hit her with a black.
All right, let's go.
Oh, hell. I forgot about this part.
I'll just go ask
This
her to
really
tell
makes
Goldenfold
those
not to kill
jokes
us
you
when
were
she
making
wakes up.
about them
Whoa,
weird.
Morty. The trick to incepting is making people
I know.
think
That's
they
what I
came
was
up with the
thinking
idea.
about. It's like, I want to be a
Listen me.
ranger. I
We're
want to
gonna
be a
incept
wizard.
these pancakes. We have to blend.
Then,
I'll talk to you after lunch.
Game of Thrones episode 7 for those of you wondering.
yeah.
Oh, what's the matter with you, Morty? Calm down. You're kind of killing the vibe in here.
Rick, Jesus.
Summer.
Let's make an intergenerational sandwich.
Ah!
Put some clothes on, for the love of God, for Pete's sake. This is disgusting. I can't take it.
He recognizes the other dogs on TV.
I recognize a lot more than that.
We have to escape into someone else's dreams, Morty. The little girl.
It's not got the little girl in there.
No, look at the
love you
baby's
too,
stupid
Terry.
face.
Oh, the baby's a little yeah.
Morty, this is perfect.
Little deformed
After
baby.
a little scary coitus, they should be fast asleep. And then we'll
I imagine watching that kind of coitus would be scary.
If you guys ever need anything, just say the word.
As a matter of fact,
About
Terry,
that.
there is something you could help us with.
Oh, thank God, Morty.
Oh, you're welcome. All right, let's
He
get out of here.
deliberately
If we hurry,
skipped Jerry just to
we can
do
set up
just
camp in
to
the sewer
release
tunnel or
Beth
something before
first.
the dogs come.
Fighting continues as the dog army captures the eastern
I don't understand why it's so hard to kill them. I mean, their bodies are like
the
fully
era of
exposed.
human superiority has come to
Unless they had like a
bitter
force
end.
field thing around them.
Please, please don't kill me.
What's she saying, Bill?
I think she's saying I love lasagna.
I'm reminded of that one scene from Up.
Rick, I thought you were dead.
Poor dog.
I was just playing dead. After you cried and crapped your pants, we all went to sleep. Then I used my dream inceptors to put the two of us inside Snuffle's dream. But
After
it's
you
been
cried
like a
and
whole
crapped
year.
your
It's been
pants.
6 hours. It's like Inception, Morty, so if it's confusing and stupid, then so is everyone's favorite movie. Oh, man. I really like this life. Well, at least I didn't really crap my pants. No, that happened before you went to sleep, Morty. You're sleeping in your crap right now. Out of all the things that happened to you, that was the only real thing that, is that you crapped your pants. I mean, it's a mess out there. I got some on my hands, Morty, and then I got it on the Dream Inceptor, and a piece fell in my mouth. Oh, man,
Oh.
geez, seriously? Look, take these. Are these pills supposed to wake me up or something? Close. It's gonna make your kidneys shut down. What? It's necessary for the plan, Morty. Don't even trip, dog. It's pretty bad, Emperor Snowball. We're gonna need to do another operation.
Anything for my precious Morty. One that will not make the same mistakes as humanity. And one where pet insurance will be mandatory.
I'm gonna miss you, Snowball.
You can call me
So,
Snuffles, Morty. And I'm going to miss
A
you
wannabe
too,
socialist utopia.
very much.
It is a TV show. They can dream.
I'm gonna be so nice to my puppy when I get it now.
I'm sorry.
Are you planning on being mean
It's
to your
just like
puppy?
the end of
Well,
Black
no,
Color.
but now I'm gonna feel bad every time I scold it.
Okay, that part right there with the dog, with Morty experiencing kidney failure and everything. We've had to put 2 dogs to sleep because of like bad things happening. The first one was a mistake of the doctor who fixed the one dog. She she was experiencing like very bad she was like experiencing like very heavy fatigue and everything. And turns out they didn't fix her properly, and it caused her to have internal hemorrhaging, and she unfortunately passed away. She was only 4 years old. She was a good pup. Her name was Daphne. She was my sister's dog, and then my sister like moved into this place that couldn't accept dogs, and my mom and my stepdad took her in. We had her for about 2 years, and it was heartbreaking. And the other one that was heartbreaking was Rusty, who...
Oh, I've heard about Rusty.
He was a dog that wasn't well off. He was very, very... He was abused when he was a pup. I mean, you could tell because his tail was broken in 2 places, and the place that he came from was busted for animal cruelty. So, and he also had, like, I don't know what was wrong with him 100%. Like, we never got a full clarification, but he almost was autistic with how he acted, because he had a routine. If you deviated from that routine, he panicked. He would start barking, yipping, and he'd panic. And it took a full year for my mom to at least get to hold him after we got him. And then he wouldn't let me touch him for like 3 years. And I just keep thinking about like how much, like, I know historically we as human beings have not treated dogs like the best. I mean not all of us are Michael Vick, for God's sakes. It's weird. And whenever
My ass is about to cry right now.
whenever you take responsibility for something, whenever you, like, especially a pet, an animal, I mean, it's imperative that you take care of them. I mean, you take care of Ellie.
Well, yes, I love Ellie.
Yeah, and I love Lucy.
Her whole life is with me. Her whole life is in her tank or when I get her out.
Yeah.
So
and,
it needs to be perfect.
Yeah, and me, I love Lucy. Da 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 da. Sorry, the I Love Lucy theme. But Lucy, I love her a lot. I mean, she's such a good cat, and she's a cuddle bug. Like, whenever I lay down on the bed up there, like, she's always just like right here, like laying against me and like leaning over and like wanting me to pet her. And when I pet her, sometimes when I pet her, I go over to her belly. When I do that, she'll like flip over on her back and like wrap her paws around my arm, and I'll like lift her up a little bit.
See,
she's a heavy cat.
I feel like when I finally get this dog, I've been wanting a dog for 3 or 4 years. I've had a prescription for a dog for 3 or 4 years, but I never got it because of the conflict of trying to get it approved through apartments and stuff. And so we're actually getting to the point where it's going to become a possibility. And I'm sitting here like, my ass is going to be that person that takes the dog to Starbucks and gets it a cup of whipped cream and takes it to the dog park and everything.
Oh, no, they have, what do they call them? Puppuccinos?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, like that's gonna be me in like probably literally 6 months from now.
I could see that. You're like sitting outside, and it's like sitting in the chair across from you. It's got its little puppuccino right there on the table.
No, it's gonna be that.
And
I mean, there are people that like will their fortunes to guarantee their dogs are taken care of after they pass away. I mean,
that's true.
That's happened plenty of times.
That's true. Oh my gosh! Actually, there was this one crazy, like, quote unquote crazy cat lady. But she was like a multi-millionaire. I mean, she was worth at least like $30 million. She died, and in her will, instead of naming her children, who, from what I hear, were brats, like complete brats.
Yeah.
She left them like $500,000 apiece. There's like 3 of them, and she left the rest of it to a cat shelter, to an animal shelter, and her cat. Like, literally, that's it.
I mean, hey.
Sometimes you just gotta take care of that cat.
Exactly. Well, people get attached to their animals. I mean, they get attached, especially if they have them for a long time. Or seeing Morty on the table with the reverse of, Snowball or Snuffles being upset and, like, wanting to do anything to help him. It reminded me of when we heard Bella, my mom's dog, who is the sweetest pup.
She's very good.
When we found out she had cancer, it broke my friggin' heart. I sat in my room and I cried for a good while over it. I was at the utilities office, like, paying the water bill, and like my mom called me and told me, and like I drove home and just like I was in tears. I mean, it's just like, how old are Piper and Pepper?
They are 6.
6? Okay, so they still got a lot of youth on their side.
Mm-hmm.
Bella is around 13 years old. I mean, she's still young at heart, but age makes fools of us all. And for her, and we always knew she had like breathing trouble. We've known that for a while, and it's because that breed is common to have like polyps in the nostrils, and if you don't, and you can go in and clear them out. But when we discovered that not just one nostril, but both nostrils were cancer, had cancer in them. Like my mom, like on the phone, she could barely get the words out. Bella, fortunately, the treatments that we're giving her for her breathing and everything, it seems to be working really well for her.
You can't tell she's sick.
No. And from what I understand, the cancer, they ran tests on what type it is, and it can be aggressive. But there's cases of it not being aggressive and it actually being sort of benign. We're hoping that it's that. We're hoping that she lives a full life and that we have her for a few more years at least.
Gosh,
but
that's going to be the worst part of getting a dog.
Well,
is that, more likely than not, I'm going to outlive my dog.
There's a pet I think we can get Micah that will outlive him. A chimpanzee.
No, it won't. I promise it won't. I've been training for that day my entire life.
I was trying to just like say, because Micah hates chimps.
I don't hate chimps. I just respect their destructive power and know I can't ever trust them. And I've studied their ways. I'm ready to fight them.
Actually, I saw this one video.
I've seen Planet of the Apes. I know how this ends up.
Okay, I've seen this one documentary from, I think it was like BBC. It was called The Most Violent Tribe of Chimpanzees. It's this group of chimpanzees in the middle of the Congo. It's like a commune of 200. And anytime anything encroaches on their territory, they get violent. And when I say get violent, I don't mean like one or two of them charges at you. No, like a group of 20 bull alpha male chimps just comes charging at you, ready to rip you in half. And chimps physically are pound for pound stronger than apes. Well, gorillas. Yeah. Well, gorillas, yeah. Well, but you see, gorillas don't have the mobility that a chimpanzee has, because a chimpanzee like can swing from tree to tree and has like amazing mobility. They're scary, and if they ever like gain sentient intelligence like this, God have mercy. That will be scary.
They still can't swim, you little monsters.
This is true. This is true. We'd all just move to a desert, to this deserted island, and build a libertarian paradise where everybody leaves each other the hell alone, unless it's to barter and trade and make and like.
I'm not gonna give up my home to a bunch of darn dirty apes.
Who says you can't take your home with you? You live out of a garage.
Well, I mean, no, it's my home. Dang chimps. I'm gonna get them.
You're
I'm
armed
ready
enough.
for this.
You're armed enough to know what to
know.
do. How they're
super
legs
strong.
Oh yeah, crazy strong. Like
not strong enough to stop a bullet.
No.
I'm still thinking about all the cute things I could do with the dog.
Well,
oh no. Well, no.
Don't
dogs,
let it around a chimpanzee.
Oh, dude. I actually that violent group of chimps. It was a little monkey. It was a little itty bitty monkey. Also, a wild dog came through one time.
Oh yeah, that like anything, like they're super violent.
That they got that on film. They got the dog getting
that's fine.
ravaged on film.
We don't really need to hear about that.
Now you know why Micah hates chimps.
I don't hate chimps. I just respect their destructive power and understand that we'll never.
I'm gonna
be
that person that buys my dog Christmas presents.
Good.
I mean, doesn't everybody do that?
I do.
Apparently not.
Like my mom.
Monsters.
My mom's desktop.
They make the dog stockings at Walmart. Like you see that, you go, "Oh yeah, I need to buy my dog a present."
My mom's desktop picture is like both of her dogs with their heads in stockings, like looking for the treats inside the stockings.
I can see like me being that person that goes on vacation and brings home like something for the dog from one of those dog stores that just has like a bunch of dog stuff, like handmade treats and stuff.
Yeah,
just all the time. Like, I went to Asheville. Here, I got you some homemade treats, and it's gonna
go. I don't see anything wrong with this.
I don't see anything wrong with that either.
But also, we're gonna have a yard that I can get one of those like stakes that you put in the ground, and it goes 30 feet.
Yeah,
I could do that too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because I'm not going outside for very long periods of time.
Well, I mean, you could get something that's a little lower energy.
Well, I'm thinking about it, but also, if I'm in the sun for more than like 30 seconds, I start immediately turning red, and like it hurts.
You could buy a parasol.
Yeah.
With your dog's picture on it.
And take my dog outside and play with it. He will be okay.
You could get one of them dang iguanas and put a little harness on it, walk it around.
Really?
Yeah. Iguana.
Iguana.
See, iguanas kind of freak me out. That's like the only lizard that kind of freaks me out a little bit.
Well, you know,
iguanas are pretty freaky.
Because they can break your arm with their tail.
There's certain types of iguana that can swim. There's some that like they act like snakes in the water snakes.
I mean, bearded dragons freaking go. You run a bathtub of water and let a bearded dragon go, they have a ball. Like,
That's
you don't know
see.
happiness until you see a bearded dragon swim.
That's something I want to see.
I
want to see that.
It's very good.
Oh man. Here we are talking about bearded dragons.
I would hold
chimpanzees.
an iguana though. I would totally hold one. Like I'm not so afraid of them. I wouldn't hold one.
Oh, at our middle school we had like a little we called it a rainforest. It was like a little terrarium that had the little iguanas in there, where they could climb up stuff and everything. It was like for them like miniature 3-story, like a 3-story
iguanas
glass
take
enclosure.
a lot of space.
Yeah, and these things can move pretty good.
People get iguanas and put them in these small things. They realistically need like at least like I'm talking 8x8, like outside dog kennel enclosures. Those things need big homes.
Yeah. Me, I'd build like a sturdy plexiglass structure for it.
I can't build anything. And I tried to ask Micah for help, and he just started making like a tea party set for my hedgehog.
You said hedgehog furniture. I thought we were talking about hedgehog-sized furniture. I'm not a great woodworker.
He was like, "We're gonna make a hedgehog a tea party set."
Like,
I mean,
okay,
why not?
Heather,
Then.
elaboration goes a long way.
Well, I said, "Can you help me make like?" I think it was like furniture for my animals is how I worded it.
well, I thought it was a hedgehog. Was it a hedgehog?
It was going to be a hedgehog. I decided not to get a
Okay.
hedgehog.
I thought he was
but-
going to have like a little armoire and like a bed, some tables.
I mean,
like
people do that.
HGTV this up.
I was talking like
That's like a little
stands because I have
collection of
reptiles.
ties in there.
And so if you put them on, to find something custom that can support the weight of all of the tanks and stuff, I wanted to just make something.
Okay.
And then Micah somehow got that we were making actual lizard and hedgehog furniture. And he got very
Seemed-
bummed out.
Seemed kind of reasonable. Well, once you described that you wanted like actual things that had to be sturdy and level, I was like, oh,
Yeah, you
I don't
like
wanna do
a little
that.
hedgehog.
you pretty much just put a gun to his head and killed his dream.
It's like, I mean,
I mean, we can totally make Ellie furniture.
that'd be ridiculous. She doesn't
honestly,
have
if
hands.
you
She
want to
can't have
build
tea
like a
party.
little plexiglass thing for like custom thing for Ellie, I mean, I've got a little experience in building stuff like I helped build a drum enclosure. That was fun.
Eventually, Ellie will need an upgrade, but also snakes are a little different when getting creative to build an enclosure, because you have to think when Ellie is full grown, she can lift something that's not locked down pretty well.
Well, that's why it's built into the wood that like when we built the drum enclosure, we had a huge wooden floor, like wooden flooring. We put carpet inside of it so the drums wouldn't slide. And we pretty much dremeled slots in there for the plexiglass to go into. At first we tacked it in there we first drilled drilled little holes in there for screws and everything, and we screwed it in. But then we tacked it as well with rubber cement. And then after that, we sealed it up the sides with I think it was E6000, and then we put hinges in there as well. Like we doubled it down.
Why didn't you just go to PetSmart and buy a 40-gallon tank?
For a drum enclosure?
This
Well,
is a drum enclosure.
Like, you're talking about all this stuff. Why can't you just go
Because
buy one?
well, because how much does one of those cost?
Like $130.
$130. Okay.
You couldn't buy plexiglass and make something that big cheaper.
Yeah.
Plexiglass is super expensive. So
yeah, that's true. But I was thinking like you wanted something huge where Ellie's actually going potentially be like 5 foot long.
Oh, well, she's a ball python. She won't want more than a 40-gallon breeder tank, because she spends most of her time in her hide anyway. She only comes out to eat, get water, and sometimes like climb on her branches. So,
Well, we built that drum riser for a friend of mine who was like really crazy about recording drums in his studio, and I helped him with it. His name's Aaron Lee, by the way. Really good recorder.
we could put the snake inside of the drum, not to beat on it, but just she could live in there.
She could, yeah.
Technically,
Well, you could get the floor tom and like flip it over, and then she could live in there.
we could just make her like a big circular igloo snake thing.
Yeah, that would work.
That'd be fun.
That would work very nicely.
Yeah.
All right.
Whatever
So-
the fuck this video has been.
Well, this was Rick and Morty. Yeah, for those of you who say, all they do is talk about nonsense, you're damn right that's all we talk about. You know why? Because life is interesting. Life takes you places that you never thought you'd go, honestly.
I mean, honestly, and it's okay if you don't like that we talk about nonsense. You're entitled to your opinion unless you're going to be shitty about it. Then you can go fuck yourself.
We kind of did just watch a show about nonsense, so.
I mean, if you're watching
Yeah,
this show and
this
you don't
is-
like this conversation, I don't know what you're fucking
Well,
doing. But...
well, we did talk about like animals and how much we care about them, in which that was a pretty.
I'm gonna
important
spoil
thing
the
to us.
shit out of that puppy. Their life is so small compared to ours. Their whole life is with us. We should make their life.
You should make them
great.
You should make them like. Well, as long as they don't wind up like Piper and Pepper, like turn into obese homing pigeons that like try and
They're
tackle you
not
every two.
obese. They're just big boned.
Okay, so big bone homing pigeons that try and knock you over just so that they can get you down on the ground and love you.
I want to
Respectable
meet
Boston
them now.
Terriers.
Huh?
I want to meet them now.
I'm not gonna bring them over here.
Oh no.
Okay, I wouldn't dare try and transport those dogs anywhere because there are 4 people in this world my mother loves more than me: Jesus, Peyton Manning, Pepper, and Piper. No way I'm taking my mother's precious babies anywhere.
Jesus, Peyton Manning, Piper, and Pepper.
Because if I get in a wreck, anything happens to those dogs,
she's killing you.
my
She's killing you, and those dogs are like.
How often do you get in wrecks, though?
all it takes is once.
This is true, because you can account for yourself, but not everybody else.
That's the scariest part about driving. Have you ever been driving and been like, I mean, this road condition's really shit. I got it, but this guy behind me sure don't got it. This is interesting.
Oh, me and my dad, we were driving home one day, and it started snowing. And we were about, I don't know, 10 minutes away from home. This got, like, there was one lane of traffic going up this one side of the road where there was some salt residue left over from the last time they salted the road.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, we were driving on that one side. This one guy, you know, we're going slow. This one guy decides he's going to go full speed down the other side of the road where it's nothing but snow and ice. And all of a sudden he gets like halfway up the hill and his tires start spinning, and then he just starts coming back very slowly like this. Me and my dad, okay, here we are like this. We're driving. And then all of a sudden, he, like, starts to slowly come back this way. And my dad's like, you dumbass, you dumbass, you dumbass, you dumbass, you dumbass. Oh, God, we missed him. Okay, thank God. And I was just like, I held my breath the whole time because his bumper was like, I don't know, like that far from our front bumper. And I was like, it was a Jeep Wrangler.
Well, this is kind of what happened that time I tried to leave here when I still lived in Morris Place and I was going.
That's right. I remember
And
that.
I'm on the interstate and I'm going like 45. I'm having a panic attack. And there's these people just flying by going like 80. I'm snowblind. It was causing me so much distress because I was like, these people are about to hit us patch and just slaughter me.
God.
Like, and so I had gotten onto an exit where I had to go 6 miles to get to the next exit. And so it was a hell of a ride, and Ben had to come get me and bring me
Jesus.
back to Nate's. And we
I
walk in
remember
without
that.
telling Nate we were coming back at all. And we're just like, hey, I'm staying here.
I'm like, okay. And I was just like, all right, let me clear off the spare bedroom bed. I went up there and I cleared off the spare bedroom bed, and she just slept up there the night.
It was interesting.
Yeah. That was actually like the precursor to you living here.
Was just,
I didn't care. I mean, honestly, you take well enough care of yourself, and you.
Nate doesn't see me unless we're recording or we're just like passing by or something.
We hang out a little bit.
We hang out some actually.
Yeah.
But
It's not like it's like hey Heather, how you doing? Hey Nate. See
we
you
kind of
recording.
mind our own business unless we're both in the mood, I guess.
There's a privacy fence upstairs, so she just like popped over. Heidi ho, neighbor.
Yeah, I built a fence, so he only has half of a hallway now.
Yeah.
He actually has to open a wooden door to get to the streaming office because it's on my side of the house.
Yeah, and if I want to get down the stairs, I gotta shimmy sideways across.
We both have to shimmy to get down now, but it keeps us, having our own privacy.
Yeah. Whenever we move into the new house, that won't be a problem.
I'm getting my own wing.
You're
it's
getting
like,
your own floor. Pretty much.
Like no, the third floor is a spiral staircase up from the second floor, and it's just like your own fucking
apartment.
It's ridiculous.
I sort of say, wouldn't you want the finished basement?
No, that's where we're putting the recording studio.
Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah,
that makes sense.
We're gonna put a big carpet down there and like put this maybe this couch.
I also wouldn't want to be down there because they have those glass sliding doors instead of like
conventional doors.
I wouldn't like having big open windows in my bedroom.
Well, that's why I'm putting like huge, massive curtains over them.
I mean, if someone could still break into them. Have you seen how many horror movies have those doors in them?
I mean, everything has windows.
And have you seen the neighborhood we live in?
Yeah, to be fair, that neighborhood, nothing's gonna happen there.
Exactly.
I mean, everything has windows. There.
Everything.
I mean, there was one time I sincerely thought someone was breaking into the third-story window here, and I don't remember what it was. I think hail hit the window or something.
Yeah.
And I was just like, how the fuck?
Yeah, you're like, I remember like during one recording session, like the wind blew, and like something hit the window there, and we were just there was
one
sitting
point
here
you
normally.
actually had to go check the door because
Yeah,
it sounded like someone was breaking in.
Well, honestly, I used to watch To Catch a Thief, and all the time the dude would climb up 2 stories because most people wouldn't either alarm or lock windows that are up high.
I lock all my windows.
Yeah. Also, I want to install security cameras at some point at the new place.
Okay, if you want to. If you want to.
I mean,
as long as it's not like in my bedroom.
I'm talking about the smaller ones with the app hooked up to it and stuff.
Yeah.
That are more.
Those cost like $100. Like 4 of those cost like $100.
I'm talking like outside at the doorbell and stuff.
Yeah.
And also getting one of those doorbells when someone presses it, we can see who it is.
View. Yeah.
Stuff like that, because I will not answer a door if I'm home alone, and that's how my apartment manager thought I was dead once.
Okay.
They kept knocking, and I just wouldn't go.
Okay.
So you didn't look out the peephole to see who it was?
I'm not walking over to the fucking door. If you hear me on the other side of the door and you have a gun, you're gonna shoot through the door.
Oh God, Heather.
I lived alone for like 3 years, so you guys have to remember that I was very an eye on your surroundings.
Heather, I've lived alone for around the same time.
Yeah, but you're not like 5'3" and have spaghetti arms.
Jesus. Okay, well, this was Rick and Morty, Season 1, Episode 2, Lawnmower Dog. We're going to end this video before we get any further off the rails. Thank you all for tuning in, and if you're watching the full version of this on Patreon, we appreciate it. If you're watching the edited version early on Patreon, we appreciate your support there as well. And, well, if you want to see more from this awesome lady and hear her horror stories about how she's paranoid.
Joanna's?
Yeah. Just go to Miss Guns for Hands. Her link to her channel is down below in the description. And I guess go ahead.
If you're still here watching this, tell me what your favorite pizza toppings are.
Yes, indeed. Tell us what your favorite pizza toppings are. So yeah, we'll see you later, everyone. Take care.
Bye.